Welcome everyone to another episode of WordPress and Coffee. This is a live stream that happens Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. I like to discuss and talk about WordPress and just web development in general. And that's pretty much what this live stream is all about. So this week, well, last week I touched a little bit. I did a first download episode early in the week, going over a plugin. Elementor is the plugin that I was looking at, and I did a first time, kind of first reaction. I've never installed it, never used it at all. I just kind of installed it, started playing with it, see what I could figure out. Kind of a first impressions is what I've come up with for last week. And this week I want to dive a little bit deeper into the Elementor plugin itself. I want to look at all of the different components and just kind of get a little bit more in-depth feel for it. I have been playing with it for the last couple of days, 2 or 3 days, and I really like it. It does offer a lot for a page builder for WordPress. It's kind of new. I believe it's kind of new. I'm not sure exactly how old it is, but it's a newer page builder. But I really like it. And the things that I really like about this is you can use this with any theme. So you can have a current theme, and then you can basically put the page builder, add the plugin, and able to do a lot of things onto your WordPress theme that you choose, which is a good thing. I like that a lot. As you may know, I have used a lot of and have built a lot using the Themify Ultra theme, and that's basically a theme, and it comes with this builder, and you can build your website using that. I really like that one too, but I wanted to give this Elementor a try and a good, see what I thought and what I really, just get a little bit more deeper into it and see what I thought and what I wanted to share about the plugin. So let's head over to our browser here, and as you can see, we are at the Elementor homepage website, and it's from their words, it's a live page builder from WordPress for WordPress. It has over 500,000 downloads. That's a lot of downloads. And like I said, the free version comes with a lot of stuff. They have a quick intro video you can look at and watch. It's really interesting. I really like the way they're doing things as far as the learning aspects. They like for each one of the, I guess they call these the widgets here that come with it. For each one of the widgets, you can get on there and you can watch a video and learn and see exactly how to implement that widget. Anyway, so some of the things that they're saying is it's faster than others, it's free and open source, easy to use, no coding. They do have a premium version that has a couple or has more widgets that you can implement. We'll get a little bit more deeper into that here in a bit. And here's some of the things that they've been featured on that they're boasting about here. And they say any theme, any page. That's great, and that's a great thing. I really like that. You don't have to have a certain theme to use the builder. You can use any theme that you want. Me personally, I like to use a lot of I like to use a lot of bootstrap type themes. So I'm interested in implementing this in something like that. But really with this, I don't really see why I would really need bootstrap any. It almost replaces that whole structure system that Bootstrap has, which is really nice, and I really like that. It's really a cool plugin to play with. Anyway, here as we scroll down a little bit more, you can see you can total customization over layouts. You can add sections. You can handle the width, the height of the sections. You can resize columns. You can insert columns. You can do all kinds of stuff. and come up with really any kind of design that you want, and it's all drag and drop, which is really nice. You know, if you're not a coder, it's great for that. And if you are a coder, I mean, I truly believe that this is the future in web development. I mean, I've been coding websites for 20 years now, and I could see myself using this. I like to think of this a lot as what Macromedia and Adobe was trying to do in the early days with their Dreamweaver, you know, where you could just kind of drag and drop and stuff. I remember back in them days. But the thing about that back in them days that I remember, as far as in my experiences with them type of systems, is, you know, the standard as far as web went and all that stuff, HTML and CSS and all the browsers, you know, it was like you almost had to build a website for every browser back in the day. So I ended up doing a lot of hand coding back in them days simply because of that. And I didn't really use the Macromedia stuff too much. I mean, I did a little bit, but not too much. Anyway, let's get on here. It says that you can handle the column, content, position, padding and margins settings, which is really good. I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do with this plugin. You can even handle the column gap. So if you have columns, you can make them, you know, there's no gap to a lot of gap. You can just instantly change all that stuff. And like I said, we will dive a little bit more into that over the next week. I actually want to do some building. I want to create some pages with it and just play around with it and see what I can do. How easy it is to recreate something. Anyway, let's move on here. It says also another great feature of the Elementor is you're able to create designs, and once you have a design set up, you can easily save that template and apply it to other sites, other areas. I believe your library can even be uploaded and saved at the Elementor website. If I'm getting that correctly, I believe you can do that. Plus, they have a lot of templates that you can just quickly and easily apply to your page. So you can just say, oh, I like this template, and just click and apply to it, and then make your adjustments. That's another really good thing. That's one thing that is a great feature, and I really like the way they're doing this whole library thing. Yeah, it says they have pre-made templates. You can save your design, you can import it, you can export it to other sites, or you know, just whatever you need to do. It's a great feature. I could see this really in handy, like if you're like a freelance web developer, and like I like to say, if you're a freelance and you're kind of working on your own, a good thing to do. It may not be for everybody, but a good thing to do that I like to keep in mind and try to do is to try to focus on certain kinds of sites. You know, don't try to get too, you know, spread out if you can, because if you can come up with a certain type of business or something that you build websites for, and you get really good at it, that is more beneficial than trying to spread out too thin and try to do different types of sites. You know, like shopping carts and you know, sites for, you know, vacation rentals, or sites for charter boat or something like that. You know, try to stick to one type of business type, if you can. I mean, and you may kind of vary between. I'm not saying that's a perfect thing to do. I'm just saying that that's just an idea that I recommend telling, especially freelancers. If you have a full-size company and you have multiple designers, well, then that's a different story. You know, you may have different people work on different types of sites or something. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. So they refer to these as elements. Okay, that's what I was thinking. I wasn't sure if it was widgets or what they were calling these, but they refer these to elements, and the elements is what you place in the columns and in the sections. Like I says, we will go through all of the different elements that comes with the site. As you can see here, here's a few of them. They have columns, so like if you have a sections, you could put in columns, and then in that column you can add more columns. So that really makes it flexible as far as the design goes. You can have a text header, text editor, image, so you can just drag and drop images, video, you can do the same thing with videos, buttons, divider, so you can divide your sections up, spacer, so you can add a little bit of spacings between rows of your content or whatever. Google Maps, a counter, icon list, so you can have multiple icons, or multiple, like a list of things with icons beside them. For instance, say you wanted to do all your social network sites, you could have, you know, the icon of the Facebook page, and have Facebook with a link to your Facebook page. You can do the same thing for Twitter, YouTube, or anything like that. That's what the icon list could be used for. Or it could be used for like features or something, like and I believe they use the awesome fonts, so you can choose tons of different icons. Like I said, we're going to dive a lot deeper into this stuff. So if you just stay tuned over the next few days, probably this week, we'll probably do this the entire week. I think we may have a Elementor week or something. We'll call it something like that. Anyway, here's the accordion. You can do accordion, tabs, toggle, so you can toggle things, and HTML. I guess that's just straight HTML that you can insert into it. It has the short code. If you're familiar with WordPress, you'll be familiar with a lot of the plugins. Give you a little short code that you can copy and paste and put into your page. A menu anchor. We'll use menu anchors a lot. Like if you have like a single page design, you can click on a menu link and it will scroll down to that element or that part of the page, wherever you put that anchor at. An icon box, image box, image carousel here. This is really neat. I really like that. The image gallery, SoundCloud. So I guess this is for like you can insert music from SoundCloud, or maybe podcast, anything like that. You can actually put it in, and people can actually play episodes, or play that music, or play that song, or just whatever you want to do. We have testimonial, social icons. This is an actual social icon element, and that is where you can put your Facebook, Twitter, and so forth and so on. It's kind of like what I was saying, you could use the icon list to do. This is probably something like the same thing, except instead of having any text, you would just have like the icons. We'll have a little bit more of a look at that a little later on. Sidebar, I guess you can throw in a sidebar if you need to put your sidebar in. You can put in your WordPress widgets, so any widgets that you have for WordPress, you can just drag and drop, place them, and do any kind of adjustments like that. It has a progress bar, so you can show different progresses for whatever you want to show on that website. An alert, it also has alert. I guess this will be some kind of pop-up or something alert. I'm not sure. We'll have to look at that a little bit more. I haven't actually played with that too much. And then we get into the pro stuff. This is where the pro version is where you can purchase a license from them, and I believe how it is you can you purchase the license, you get all these features, other elements, and you get a year support, but you don't have to worry after it runs out. You don't have to worry about losing any of your pro stuff. You don't have to keep subscribing if you don't want to. I'm not sure if it does. They do auto renew. I doubt it. You probably have to pay each time. I'm not sure about that. You'd have to look a little bit more into that. But I do know that they did say that if you are subscribed like for the first year, then your renewal is like half price or something. So it's like 50% discount for renewals, which is really great. I really like that. Anyway, so some of the pro versions, I don't have the pro version, so I'm not going to really be able to look at these elements and kind of go through them with you. But these are just some to keep in mind that are available. You can do like form. I guess it's like some kind of form builder where you can build different forms and stuff. They have Woo elements. I guess Woo is the shopping cart, and Woo products. So you can drag and drop your Woo shopping cart products. Categories, you can do categories, Woo categories, Woo add to cart. You need to add to cart real quick. The Woo is the shopping cart system for WordPress. Or they're one of the shopping cart system. It's not the, it's one of. It's very popular. Slides, you can do slides. Templates, you can just drag and drop templates in. The post, you can do you can create post. These are like your post for your WordPress site. You know, the post that you made, blog post or whatever kind of post. You can add them and play with them. Do a lot of different things. Portfolio, you can do a portfolio. There's a price list, a price table, a flip box, and the flip box is like you see. You'll see an image, and then when you hover over it, it just kind of like flips, and then there's another saying or another image below it, or like the back image, and it does some really cool effects. That's kind of a cool one. And then there's a countdown. It has a countdown, and the countdown is like if you're counting down for, I don't know, like a product release or even your website being opened or whatever. I don't know. Anything like that. So anyway, here's a little bit more that they go over. It says pixel perfect with no coding. You can save time and money. Pixel perfect design. 400 plus awesome icons. So I think they're using the font awesome library. Maybe, I'm not sure. We'll see that when we get a little further into this. Border and background, so you can play with the borders. You can do backgrounds, like background images. You can do all that kinds of stuff. It's really great. Google Fonts, they implement Google Fonts, and I really like this. I use Google Fonts a lot on my websites. It gives it makes it a lot easier for it looks nice, and it stays search engine friendly when you use Google Fonts rather than creating your own like Photoshop, using the fonts and using an image instead. So I like using the Google Fonts. It has a color palettes, so you can all kinds of select whatever color you want in the whole spectrum of colors. It's really nice thing to have, and it's always so like if you have a font color and you mouse over it and you move your color, it like is instant. It's real time, changes the color and everything. It's all real time, which is really cool. You don't have to refresh the page just to see the update of the change of the color. It's mobile friendly. They have multiple layouts, and you can change you can set things so it's viewable on the mobile and not viewable on the desktop or tablet size of the screen. It's all based on the size of the screen, of course. So, and you can change all them settings to the widths, whatever you're wanting to do. But they have a mobile, so you can look at a mobile quick view, and you can do a tablet quick view, and then you have your desktop quick view, which is really handy. Like I said, we'll get in a little bit more into this today. I just want to kind of do a quick overview now that I've kind of played with it a little more and I'm a little more comfortable with it. That way I can do this and show this thing off. Like I said, I really enjoy this plugin. Anyway, this is pretty much kind of an overview of what they've already said before above. It's open source, high quality code. It's written in PHP 7, which is basically the WordPress 4. I think 4 plus is PHP 7. I'm not really sure when they switched to PHP 7. SEO optimized, which is great. I do know one thing. I have played around with it enough that I've created some stuff and looked at the front end of it, what the user would see, and then I viewed the code source, and it does create some really nice clean source code as far as the code goes. It's not a bunch of jumbly stuff you wouldn't necessarily be able to understand just looking at the source. So I really like that and really appreciate that they put the effort into doing that. Anyway, you can do custom CSS. I believe the custom CSS is a pro version, where you can only do it in the pro version. But I think there are other ways to be able to use custom CSS. We'll see. I'm gonna have to play with that a little bit more and see if I'm able to do that. Like have my own CSS, custom CSS in the theme itself, and then just add the classes. Like I said, we'll play around a little bit more with that. Anyway, as far as pricing goes, let's do a quick deal over the pricing. Just scroll all the way over, and if we say get pro, and this is just for the pro version of it. And like I said, the free version has enough stuff that if you have, a basic website or something like that, you could probably get away with it. I do like to emphasize that if you are using a plugin for WordPress and it benefits you, you should go ahead, even though you may only need the free version, you should go ahead and pay the developers and just kind of just help support them, because by doing that you're supporting something that later on you want to continue on having support and code updates and stuff like that. So support your developers out there. That's what I'm getting at. I'm starting to ramble here again. Anyway, the price structure of it is they offer. So if you have one website, what happened there? Okay, so if you have one, this is jacked up. What's my mouse doing? Okay, so if you have one website, it's only $49. It's $49 for a year, and that is of updates and support. Like I said, when it expires, it's not like you're going to lose anything. You're just not going to get any support or updates for future versions. Whatever version that you do get in the initial download or purchase, you'll be able to keep and maintain and still have them functions even after a year. You just won't get any new updates for future stuff. That's what I'm getting at. And like I said, I do believe the renewal stuff is a 50% discount. So if you was to have the personal, you would pay $50 for the first year, and then the next year, if you wanted to continue and renew, you could pay $25. It would be like $25 or so to renew it. There's a business one that you can put up for 3 websites. So if you have multiple websites for up to 3, you could use it on them. And this is also as far as subdomains too. I believe it's per subdomain. So if you have a domain and then you have a subdomain of that domain and you want to use it on that, it is you have to pay for it again. In other words, that would take up another license. If I remember right, that's the way that is. And then they have the unlimited package, and this is for like software developers and stuff like that. People, if you're building websites for clients and stuff like that, you can purchase this one and you can use it across your client base. Now you cannot use. I believe you can't use this. So like if you're a web host and you're wanting to add this to a package or something, I don't think you can do that. Do it that way. I think this is mainly for web developers and web designers and so forth. So anyway, that's $199, and so after the first year, if you did a renew it would be $100, $99, whatever it is. Anyway, that's kind of like the questions They have frequent asked questions. Like I said, I've looked through these, and is it a license or subscription? They're saying that this is not a subscription. In other words, once you install it, you get that version, you own that version. If you cancel it, what happens? It stays the same, all of the special features. So I guess you just kind of download the files, and once you download the files, you kind of own the files. You can't really, so that's how that works, I believe. Can I host a, okay, so no, this is what I was referring to. If you're like a hosting company or a do-it-yourself company, you know, you sell these websites, you say you can build it yourself and all this, you cannot use it like that. No, you cannot only include the free version of Elementor. So you can add the free version, but not the pro version. That's what that gets at. Can I use Elementor for my clients? And yes, you can. So if you are a web developer, you can use it for your clients, which is a great thing for web developers. I really like that. I would hate to have to buy a license for every client. I guess you could, but that'd be kind of a pain. Anyway, when my license expires, what happens after that? And like I said, you keep the code, you keep all of the current version you have. You just don't get updates, and you do not get support. That's pretty much that. Is there a white label option? And they currently do not have we currently do not have plans on a white label option for Elementor. Maybe one will be available in the future. In any case, Elementor is only visible on the site admin, so your visitors won't see any trace of Elementor on this site front end. So that's like, you don't want people to know that you're using Elementor. Like, you can change the label to your label, you know. Anyway, that's what that's for. So that is pretty much a overview for today. I'm not going to I'm just going to talk about it and overview it today. Tomorrow I will dive into doing some pages and start doing some designing and setting some things up, and kind of showing you a little bit more in depth of how the free version works on a website. So I guess that's probably all I'm going to talk about today. I just want to kind of do an intro. Last week I did a first time install where I've never messed with it, and I did an install, and I was pretty impressed with how that went. And so that gave me, okay, well, I'll look a little bit more into this. And since I had time to look a little bit more into it last week, I decided, hey, I really like this, and I think it's something that other people would enjoy and would want to learn a little bit more about. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about it this week and actually do a deep dive into it this week. So that's what we'll be doing this week. This week will be Elementor week. So anyway, I believe that's all for today. I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. Like I said, if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and we will see you guys tomorrow. That's all for today. Bye.